I was working with a client this week who shared something with me that's so common that I thought I would address it here. And this is what she shared with me. She's a woman who's in her late 50s and she has been single for quite some time. And she said this thing that I've heard it from women in as long as their 30s. I've definitely heard it from women in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond. And it goes down, the self-talk is like this. Maybe it's just not meant to be for me to find someone. Maybe I'm just meant to be alone in this lifetime. Or the relationship that I already had is the only one I'm supposed to have. And I asked her a question. I said, how does it feel when you say that to yourself? And she said, really bad, really discouraging. So there's this fine line between where we want to acknowledge our feelings and be with our feelings, maybe even journal our feelings. That's a really healthy practice, whether we're single and with ourselves processing emotions, or whether we're in a relationship. But there's this fine line between acknowledging our feelings and adopting a self-talk, a limiting belief, a negative way of looking at the world that really doesn't serve us. And so I shared with her that I too had said those exact same words. I reached a place of feeling so frustrated in my attempts to find love that I really would say, I've had a good life in many ways. I had this wonderful speaking career, going around the country as a keynote speaker, promoting my parenting book. I have 2 healthy, wonderful children. I had a healthy, strong body. I had had a marriage. And I too would fall into this, but it's a trap of really discouraging thinking masked as trying to be accepting. And so I shared with her the words of my beloved spiritual psychology professor, Dr. Ron Holnick, who said to me and shared with our whole class and was part of our mantra, make sure that you win in your own fantasies. See, our fantasies or our pictures that we hold in our mind of the future, if that was just his word for it, our future pictures that we hold have a tremendous impact on whether we will get what we want. If I believe that I'm not going to get something or that something's not going to happen to me, it changes everything. Even traditional science bears this out, that when we have positive self-talk about anything, about whether we'll pass the bar exam or find a lasting love in our life, that self-talk affects what we believe and think about ourselves, which affects the actions that we take. So I said, what would it look like if you were to win in your own fantasy? And she said, well, I do get a beloved. I do get a beloved. And I shared with her one truth that I want to share with any of you who have felt like it's been, and for her case, it was many, many years since she has been with in a relationship. When that relationship comes to you, it will wipe out all the years of your loneliness. There's some magic thing that happens that makes it not matter almost how long you were single. So I want you to take this invitation to begin to suffer less. And look, I'll say in all honesty, I don't know people's paths. I don't know who's meant to call in love or who's not, but I do know that belief and our thoughts about ourselves and our thoughts about our possibilities are a gigantic impact on whether we will get it. So I invite you to move what she did and what I did from, maybe it's just not meant to be, to say, I'm going to keep showing up. Even if you have a bad day or a bad few hours or bad week, get back on the horse of holding a vision of my ideal life. You get what you deserve. And on the path to that, why don't you start making yourself feel better today by winning in your own fantasies? Try it out. Let me know how it goes.